Good evening, people. We are back for part 4 of my Pokemon tutorial video series, and as you would have seen from the thumbnail, today's Pokemon in discussion is Tangela and Tangrowth. So I guess that's 2 Pokemon really, but we're going to talk about them both because they're both very similar and you can actually use them either way. Now, both of them are basically physical tanks because of their extremely high defense. Obviously I've put Tangela in here because he's a Pokemon that can make use of the Eviolite item if he's in unevolved form, which will give him a 50% boost to his defense and special defense. And obviously, actually just looking at Tangela there, he's only level 42, but you can see how high his physical defense is. So he's got the bold nature, which is what I would give to Tangela or Tangrowth, which is increased defense and lowered attack. Again, this is my choice, what I think is a good idea. You may go for increased defense, lowered special attack, and that's dependent on your moveset, which I'll go into in a moment. So training wise, maximum HP, maximum defense, because he's basically a physical tank who is also fairly good at special attacks, I might add. 100 special attacks, he's not too bad. Speed wise at 60, he's not as slow as some other tanks like Chansey or Fortress. He's faster than him as well, so he has got that on his side. Moveset wise, this is where Tangela might vary from person to person. So this is my current moveset. I'm not saying this is my final moveset on Tangela, but we've got Leech Seed because of getting your HP back and getting them down over time. We've got Bind to stop them from swapping out. So basically Bind plus Leech Seed is going to really hurt them over time. Now Bind lasts for 4 to 5 turns. Now after 4 turns of Bind and Leech Seed, and if you attack them, I've got Sludge Bomb as my attack at the moment. If you're attacking them as well, then they're not going to be able to survive that. Doesn't matter who they are, they're going to go down. And Protect is on there because of in between turns of using Leech Seed and Bind, you could Protect to get some HP back just from Leech Seed, or if he's got leftovers and not got the Eviolite, that way you can use leftovers instead, obviously for more HP recovery, but his physical defense will obviously be less, and his special defense, which isn't very good anyway, will be even less than that. Now these moves can obviously be altered. Now I've not ever seen anybody use Bind on Tangela. I've seen most people use Knockoff, so their nature is probably lowered special attack instead of lowered attack because they use Knockoff instead of Bind. Now Leech Seed is always on there. Sludge Bomb perhaps instead of Protect. I've seen people using Giga Drain for extra HP recovery, but with thinking of using Leech Seed, Bind and Protect, then his HP recovery is quite good. So again, moveset is really dependent on the person that's using it. He doesn't get a direct cure move like Synthesis or Moonlight or Recover, so he has to get his HP back some way, and Leech Seed and Protect with Bind in there as well is quite a good way. Obviously you could use leftovers, but like I said, his defense will be less. Tangrowth works in a similar way, but his stats are different. So he has obviously a lot more base HP at 100 compared to Tangela's. I think Tangela's was 65, I think, and obviously his defense is up to 125. His special attack's got 10 more at 110, and he's actually a good physical attacker as well at 100. So Knockoff is a more viable option for Tangrowth. Now Tangrowth's training, obviously if you train him up properly, will be the same: max HP, max defense, and with the leftovers item. And moveset wise, it is going to be exactly the same. This one here doesn't have a correct moveset. He's got Knockoff and Giga Drain, but he's not got he's not one that I've trained. He's just on here for showing. The moveset for Tangrowth will obviously be similar to Tangela, and it works in a very similar way. Now he can replace something like a Mandibuzz, I'm thinking, in your team. I've not really used Tangela much, or Tangrowth, But in my eyes, looking at his stats and the way he works, he could directly replace a Mandibuzz, really, or certainly my kind of Mandibuzz in my team. I definitely wouldn't be running a Tangela and a Mandibuzz and a Fortress in my team together, because it's just too much defensiveness and not enough attack. And obviously all three of them are physical defenders as well. So hopefully, I say hopefully, this has given you an insight into the different ways you can use a Tangela or a Tangrowth in your team. And obviously these are just my opinions when I'm saying this. If you've got any other suggestions, or if you think he should have different movesets, that's fine. Leave me a comment, whatever you want. You don't have to take my advice. I'm just giving you what I think is advice and useful tips for using certain Pokemon effectively in the game. So I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching. Like or dislike and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.